morning, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural City of Houston's Virtual Mayor's Service Awards Ceremony. My name is Takasha Francis, and I am the Director of the Department of Neighborhoods. I will be your host this morning. Oh, still got background music. Thank you, Ms. Kyle. I'm happy to be your host this morning as we honor those of you who have celebrated 30, 35, 40, 45, and even 50 years of service anniversaries with the City of Houston in 2019 and 2020. There are over 900 of you that are going to be recognized this morning, and I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your sacrifice. And thank you for being here this morning. I know this is a different way to celebrate because of COVID-19. Our entire lives have changed. But this virtual celebration is no less significant and no less special because you are no less significant and no less special. And so on behalf of over 2.6 million Houstonians, 23 directors, and one amazing mayor, thank you for your service to the City of Houston. And a special thank you to our HR Director, Jane Cheeks, and her staff for putting together this inaugural Mayor's Service Awards ceremony. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jane Cheeks, our Director of Human Resources. Jane?
Thank you so much, Director Francis. Good morning, honorees. I would first like to welcome and thank each and every one of you to the service awards here at the City of Houston. I want to welcome the 22 directors or their designees, also for attending this morning and representing your department and your honorees. I'm aware that this event historically would include a luncheon and a photo with Mayor Turner. Regrettably, we were unable to safely host a large-scale event in 2020 and 2021 due to the global pandemic. In considering ways to celebrate, a virtual ceremony and a small gift was the best alternative to you in our position. Please know that we do recognize how unfair it seems that we have resumed hosting the annual Mayor Service Award luncheon this year, but please understand, we did not come to this decision lightly. Our commitment to recognizing your service remains unwavering. We are equally committed to moving forward and cultivating and thriving in a post-pandemic workforce. This morning is all about you. Your service, your loyalty, your commitment to the City of Houston. Before we get started, the Honorable Mayor Turner is here to welcome you this morning also. Mayor, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Jane, and thanks, Director Francis and Director Cheeks, and to all of you who are with us this morning. And I regret, too, that we're not doing this in person, but things are improving and getting better. So I look forward to seeing you all in person. So let me say good morning. Look, I'm humbled to be in the presence of so many dedicated employees who celebrated 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50 years service anniversaries in 2019 and in 2020 in the City of Houston. Historically, as you know, we would have celebrated your strides and accomplishments by hosting a luncheon, but due to the pandemic, we decided to do a virtual ceremony instead. Or you can just line up in front of City Hall one by one, starting this morning, and then I'll be out there all day to take. Let me stop that. I don't want 400 or 500 employees showing up, but look, I do miss not being in person, and I know you do as well. As we get closer to the Public Service Recognition Week, we want to make sure that your hard work does not go unnoticed and is recognized by city leadership. And I certainly want to thank you. And I know you've been here, 30 up to 50 years, but the last two plus years have been quite challenging. uh, unlike what I think all of us have seen, unless you were around in 1917, 1918, and I don't think that's the case. So it's been challenging, but you've stayed the course, and I want you to know that your service is deeply appreciated. As Mayor of City of Houston, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your efforts. In spite of COVID, we continue to function. The city never closes 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and it doesn't operate without you. Each one of you was a tenacious advocate for the city, and your expertise and customer service over the many years serviced the city well. Day in and day out, you provided city services in an efficient and timely manner, so thank you. Your professionalism and sense of public service will now serve as models for newer employees. 2020 was a tumultuous year. You were challenged by increasing demands, and I appreciate your decision to make public service your life's work and your dedication to getting the job done. So today is all about you. And thank you for time, for sacrifice, for commitment. And please know that you will always be a part of the City of Houston's family. Again, congratulations on this remarkable achievement to public service. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate those heartfelt words. And thank you also, Director Cheeks, for your greetings to all of our honorees today. So now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I want to give you guys an overview of today's program. I'm going to announce each department and their 2020 and 2021 Service Award honorees. Feel free to do your virtual applause online to recognize yourselves and your colleagues. Thereafter, I will announce the department director to bring brief remarks to their honorees. Okay? So without further ado, let's get started because we do have lots of people to acknowledge. Let's start off first with the Administration and Regulatory Affairs Office. And Director Tina Paez oversees this department. Standing in for her today is Assistant Director Catherine Bruni. So, our 2020 ARA honorees for 30 years of service are Henry Brown, Estella Cortez, Rhonda Davis, Pamela Simmons, and Terry Taylor. Our 2021 ARA honorees for 30 years of service are Augustine Osametha. For 35 years of service, Manuel Bell, Adriana Chapa, and Kimberly Thomas. And now we want to bring up Ms. Catherine Bruni to bring greetings on behalf of ARA.
Good morning. We are really excited to be honoring all these employees in ARA today. They are the backbone of our organization and provide a lot of support as we move forward into new activities and new events. They have all the knowledge. They have all the institutional knowledge that allows us to build on and move forward into new activities, permits, things that we all do. So congratulations to all of you for your years of service.
Thank you, AD Bruni. And now let's go to our next department. And now we have the City Secretary's office with our City Secretary, Ms. Pat Jefferson Daniel. And our City Secretary's Office honoree for 2020 for 35 years of service is Ms. Patricia Jefferson Daniel. So she is honoring herself. Congratulations, Ms. Daniel. And of course, our 2021 honoree for 30 years of service, Mr. Troy Lemon. All right, Ms. Jefferson Daniel, please honor yourself and Mr. Lemon.
Thank you. We started out with, as you know, Ms. Russell heads it out with 68 years of service. So I guess when you come to the City Secretary's office, you don't leave out, you just stay. So I want to thank everybody. I want to sound like I'm in church and say thank the Lord, but I thank God for everything because I obviously have to give God praise. But we want to thank Troy for his years of service because he has stepped in and stepped up to the plate and has really been my backbone since I have taken the reins. So I thank Troy for his years of service and just hanging in there and hanging tough. It's not easy as people think it is, but I thank God for just being there and giving me the strength to handle it and just continue on. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
All right, well, thank you so much, and we appreciate you as well. Congratulations. And now we're on to the Houston City Controller's Office, run by, of course, our Houston City Controller, and stepping in for him today is Chief Deputy City Controller Shannon Nobles. So let's bring on our honorees. Our 2020 Controller Office honorees for 30 years of service are Lilian Hallman. And for 35 years of service, Ms. Brenda Jackson and Mary Villarreal. Our 2021 honoree for 30 years of service is Ms. Maria Perez. So at this time, we'd like for Ms. Chief Deputy City Controller Shannon Nobles to bring greetings and salutations to their honorees.
Thank you, Director, for that warm introduction. I'd also like to thank Director Cheeks and her team for picking up where we left off before COVID. It's a privilege to recognize our dedicated department honorees and their contributions to our city. I'm especially proud to recognize the members of the Controller's Office included in this honor, of which we recognize four for 2020 and 2021. Public service is a calling few answer to. Serving the residents of Houston is a privilege that requires an empathetic approach to increasing the quality of life fairly for all Houstonians. Today's honorees have met this obligation, exceeded this standard of service, and it's my privilege to recognize their achievements. I can personally say that the Controller's Office has benefited from their hard work, and Houston really is a better place because of their dedication. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, and congratulations again to all honorees. All right, next department. Wow, I think it's the best Department of Neighborhoods in the entire world, the Department of Neighborhoods, which I am very happy to lead. So let's go ahead and kick it off. And our 2020 Department of Neighborhoods honorees for 30 years of service, Ms. Vicki Newson and Mr. Jay Weatherspoon. And also celebrating 30 years of service in 2021, our honorees are Kevin Simon and Sherry Strong. And celebrating 35 years of service to the Department of Neighborhoods in the City of Houston, Louis Avina and Royce Brooks. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you. 30 and 35 years is just a long time to be committed to anything, whether it's relationships, work, that is significant. And I want you all to know, as your director, you make me very proud, not only because of the work you do, because your job says so, but because of the intention of your heart to go the extra mile and do an amazing job for the citizens of Houston. So congratulations to all Department of Neighborhoods honorees. I appreciate you so much, and we look forward to more time with your service to the citizens of Houston. Thank you again. And now the Finance Department, led by Director Tantri Emo.
Hi, my name is Eva Barrios, and I will be doing this on behalf of Director Emo as she lost her voice. To Mary Smith, Sergio Escobedo, Corinne Howard, Felicia Crawford, Sherry Mose, and Laura Guthrie, who has recently transitioned to the Solid Waste Department, as well as many retirees, Stephanie Emmers, Latanya Bolden, and Darla Colum. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to the Finance Department, as well as the City of Houston. I congratulate you on your successful completion of the Mayor's Service Awards tenure.
Thank you so very. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On behalf of the Finance Department, as well as the City of Houston, I want to thank you. I want you to know how proud we are. We are to have such dedicated and hardworking employees like you. You are an inspiration to many and have consistently proven to be invaluable assets. To Mary Smith, Sergio Escobedo, and Laura Guthrie, Your years of service and dedication in the Strategic Procurement Division of the Finance Department is sincerely appreciated. In addition to the day-to-day responsibilities, I thank you for going the extra mile during Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Ike, and Rita, especially during the very trying times of COVID. Your continued service and flexibility did not go unnoticed. To Connie Howard and Felicia Crawford, you joined the Finance Department during the Accounts Payable consolidation and hit the ground running and have not missed a beat. Thank you for managing the finance accounts payable and keeping us compliant. To Sherry Mose, your dual roles of City of Houston employee and chairperson for our pension board continues to be invaluable. Your work has excelled in the City of Houston and its employees tremendously. And to my retirees, Stephanie Emmers, Latanya Bolden, and Darla Colum, thank you, thank you, thank you for all your years of service and dedication. I sincerely hope you're joining this next chapter of your life and appreciate being part of each of your novels. All your 30, 35, and 40 years of service is motivation to many and has proven to be testament of success that one can achieve within the City of Houston. We appreciate each of you and your diligence and enthusiasm. On behalf of the Finance Department as well as the City of Houston, I am so proud of you sincerely and sincerely express gratitude towards you and wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And look, and thank you for reading off the employees. You saved me a list. So thank you so much.
Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you again, and congratulations to our honorees. Now we have Fleet Management. Our director is Gary Glasscock, and the honorees are celebrating 30 years of service. Our 2020 Fleet Management honorees are Elizabeth De Leon, Julio Gonzalez, Dwight Pellerin, and Mario Zepeda. Celebrating 35 years of service in 2020, Joe Garcia, Joey Lewis, David Wynn, Geeta Patel, and Marcus Patrick.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to all the honorees. To each of the fleet management employees, a very special thank you. We in the department greatly appreciate your years of loyal service. You're the foundation of our operation. We also want to extend thanks to your families. Many of you have worked nights and weekends at some point in your career with the city, and I know there are sacrifices made by family members when employees work non-traditional hours. We appreciate that they've let you have us for your time over this that we're celebrating today. So today, as we celebrate your service and accomplishments, please know that we are very proud to have you as part of our team. Keep up the great work. We hope that you continue to inspire us for many years to come. Thank you.
And thank you, Director Glasscock. And we want to also acknowledge the 2021 Fleet Management honorees for 30 years of service: Kimberly Mack Blackshear, Brian Feller, Ronald Garrett, and Joe Teemer. We also want to recognize for 35 years, Kenneth Henry. And then for 40 years of service in 2021, Jesus Garcia and C. Huo. Congratulations again. And as we move into the next department, colleagues, I just want to do a brief reminder. Please allow me to announce all of your honorees, and then I will introduce you to bring your remarks. Thank you so much. Now we have General Services with Director CJ Messiah. The honorees are 2020 honorees for 30 years of service: Russell Galbraith, Joe Garcia, and Archimedes Hoya. For 30 years of service in 2021, Alan Robinette and Willie Rodney. For 35 years of service, Roman Butte and Kenneth Hicks. For 40 years of service, Domingo Guerrero. Director Messiah.
Director Messiah there?
Is he on mute?
Yes. Director Messiah, you're
Yep.
muted.
Okay, I got it now. So to the GSD honorees, thank you for your years of service. Some of you have endured the last 2 years of being on call, coming in and disinfecting office space due to COVID exposure. And you did it carrying our core values with you of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Some of you actually retired from one department and came here and continued your years of service. And I'm going to call out Domingo Guerrero because he came from HPD and continued being an investigator for Public Works and now belongs to GSD and is actually retiring again in 2 weeks. So Domingo, we're going to miss you. We appreciate not only what you've done, but what each of you honorees have done, and keep up the good work. And we hope to see you in another 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Messiah. Congratulations again to our honorees. Now let's move on to the Housing and Community Development Department with Director Keith Bynum. Our honorees are celebrating 30 years of service in 2020, Miss Mary Owens, and 35 years of service, Miss Tawana Roan. In 2021, celebrating 30 years of service, our honorees are Sharon Benson, Peruse Frahumand, and Monica Johnson. Director Bynum.
Thank you very much, Director Francis. This is an outstanding group of individuals. I've had the pleasure of being here all 30 of those years. The only person I haven't been the entire time with is our 35th honoree, Tawana. But I want to congratulate them for their many years of service, not only to this department, but to the city. And the city is in a much better place because of the dedication of these individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, and congratulations again to all honorees. Now we have the Houston Airport System, who is also overseen by Director Mario Diaz, who is not with us today. So standing in is Chief Terminal Management Officer, Liliana Rambo. Our honorees are, for 30 years of service in 2020, Danny Bauer, Isaac Chapman, Jose Gartan, Monica Hall Hines, Rigoberto Hernandez, Luis Ibarra, Connie Johnston, Manuel Martinez, Trisha Powell, and Philip Terry. And celebrating 35 years of service to Houston Airport Systems is Cecil Butts, John Constantine, Daniel DeMarinville, Stephen Garcia, Sonia Hunter Reed, Ricky Johnson, Charles Jones, and Charles Medina. And for 2021, celebrating 30 years of service, Charisse Bougere, Silas Bougere, Jose Campos, Sandra Dabney, Domingo Garcia, Ronald Guillory, Michael Merrick, Gregory Murray, Vivian Murray, Michelle Knotlick, Harinder Singh, Patricia Ward, and Carolyn Williams. Congratulations. For 35 years of service to 2021 Houston Airport honorees are Elena Arias, Ivory Davis, Thala Kim, Ki Fu, Christina Rice, Remigio Rodriguez, Andy T. And celebrating 40 years of service, Carrick Edison. Thank you so much for your service to the City of Houston. And now we would like to hear from Chief Terminal Management Officer Liliana Rambo.
Thank you. This is truly a remarkable group of Houston Airport employees. 39 of you have reached an outstanding milestone in your careers. More than 30 years of employment at Houston airports. What an honor to be able to take this moment to celebrate your many years of service and dedication to the city and our airports. The airports have always been an asset to this city. For years, we were the only city in the Western Hemisphere with 2 4-star rated airports. And now, as you know, Hobby Airport became the first and only 5-star rated airport in North America. Bush Airport continues to improve, and none of this would have happened without you, your tireless work, and the effort each one of you puts in every day at your jobs. Thank you for helping us attain these remarkable achievements. Thank you for helping us care for our passengers, our guests, our facilities, and your fellow teammates. And a big thank you for making our airports a welcoming place to the millions of visitors we receive each year. Tarek Edison, let me salute you for 40 years of service. We have been lucky to have you for that long period of time at Hobby Airport. And it shines because of you. There are 50 of you who celebrated 35 years of employment. I commend you for your tireless efforts. And the other 23 of you who reached 30-year mark. I'm inspired by your work and passion for your city, for our city, and our airports. All of you deserve this recognition. Congratulations, and again, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rambo, and congratulations. Next up, Houston Emergency Center with Director Robert Mock. The honorees are our 2020 honorees for 30 years of service are Linda Atwood, Thelma Flake, Linda Giles Terrell, Rhonda Harris, Juanita Lozano, and Giselle Vaughn. For 35 years of service, Shirley Blackshear. For 40 years of service, Randall Adams, John Flanagan, Kathy Garcia, and Tamara Thorne Jennings. And our 2021 honorees for 30 years of service, Josephine Pinares and Virginia Wisniewski. Director Mock, you're up.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. And thank you to all the honorees here for your really a lifetime of dedication and hard work for the Houston Emergency Center and the city of Houston and the citizens we serve. It's just amazing what you've accomplished and what you've done and how you still continue to assist us every day. And even though it's never seems like it gets easier, but you're always here and you're always dedicated, and we really just can't thank you enough. And it's I wish we could do more to honor you even greater than this, but thank you again, and we look forward to many more years of working together with each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, and thank you, honorees. Next up, the Houston Fire Department with Chief Samuel Pena. Our 2020 HFD honorees for 30 years of service are Kyle Atkinson, Robert Branch, Gregory Chapa, David Koakamo, Jeffrey Cook, Erlene Day, John Douglas, John Fabush, George Feist, Robert Garner, Carl Holder, Cornell Jones, Richard Mann, Ronald Martin, Joseph Noack, Stephen Owen, Tanya Presley, and James Reyna. Continuing for 30 years of service, Abraham Rodriguez, Richard Royster, Edward Schnur, Jerry Tamburello, William Thornton, and Stephen Valdez. And celebrating 35 years of service in 2020, we have John Bridges, Enrique Chavez, Michael Garrica, Herman Gonzalez, Irvin Johnson, Herbert McDonald, Martina Medina, Domingo Montalvo, Carl Stubbs, and Bobby Thompson. Celebrating 40 years of service in 2020, we have Jarvis Butler and Samuel Norvik. And celebrating 45 years of service, John Childers. Moving on to our 2021 honorees for 30 years of service. Emmett Addison, Lawrence Alonzo, George Anderson, Wanda Andrews, Gregory Armstrong, Warren Ayers, Brian Baskin, Clayton Berry, Robert Birmingham, David Boshears, David Boudreau, Kenneth Bosquet, Anthony Brown, Robert Bueller, Joel Calfee, Troy Campbell, Larry Cannon, Kevin Carley, Robert Castleberry, and Edward Causey. Continuing, John Chambers, Pedro Chapa, Dana Klein, William Cole, Clint Kugler, Denny Cooley, Jesse Cooley, David Cooper, Brian Cornelius, Daniel Corona, Kevin DeMoss, James Dillon, Mark Dawkins, Robert Doolittle, Tim Drews, Brian Edwards, William Everett, Matthew Faulkner, Landris Flanagan, and John Flores. Continuing, James Franco, Gregory Frank, Jesus Fuentes, David Goodyear, Clyde Gordon, Kenneth Gregory, Douglas Hancock, Byron Harrison, Douglas Harrison, Brad Hawthorne, Clinton Hendricks, Norman Hicks, Daryl Hingle, Charles Hosmer, Eric Hudsley, Gary Jones, George Cantus, Ronald Krusleski, Brian Lathan, Robert Ledger. And there's more. Jerry Lee, Kevin Levi, Troy Lilly, Edward Llewellyn, Sam Lund, Anton Machasek, Eric Madera, John Malpas, Daniel Martinez, Keith Matthews, Winfield McAfee, Donald McComb, Brian McConnell, Jimmy McDonald, Thomas McKenna, Jeremy McMillan, Bobby Melder, Rodney Merziowski, Brian Miller, John Miller. And yes, this list is as long as their years of service. We're still on 30 years for 2021. Kelly Miller, Jack Mobley, Juan Morales, John Norris, Sandra Ortiz, Randy Ostwald, Stuart Peters, Eric Petox, Philip Quintero, Charles Riggs, Albert Rodriguez, Jesus Rodriguez, Maria Rodriguez, Jace Rogers, Charles Rosenfield, Charles Salazar, Kevin Scarber, James Schmidt, Valerie Seymour, Anthony Spitzenberger. And again, continuing, Troy Steinberg, Stephen Stewart, Burl Lynn Strong, Stephen Taylor, Ernest Terry, Pierre Tillman, Kirkland Tolliver, Juan Villalobos, Anthony Watson, Johnny Watson, Rodney West, Stephen Whitehead, Rebecca Wilson, Gary Wood, and Lewis Wood. Congratulations for 30 years of service. And now on to 35 years of service. Christopher Baltrak, Michael Bowden, Richard Cole, Kenneth Curry, Kenneth Helton, Jimmy Hunter, Donald Larson, John Maniscalco, George McAteer, Theodore Rocha, Oscar Sanchez, and Kelly Traylor. Celebrating 40 years of service, John Valenti, and 50 years of service, George Hernandez. Congratulations to all honorees from the Houston Fire Department. Chief Pena.
Wow, that's quite a list. Thank you, Director Francis, and thank you, Director Cheeks, for putting this program together. And congratulations to all the celebrants in all departments. For our employees, we want you to feel appreciated for your efforts. And certainly it goes without saying that you who have dedicated more than 30, 40, 50 years to the residents of Houston certainly deserve to feel the love. I want to congratulate you on your achievements. We know that you've dedicated much of your life to making a positive impact to the lives of Houstonians and our visitors to this great city. And we want to thank you for your dedication and your commitment. So on behalf of myself and the mayor of this great city, a heartfelt thank you for all your years of dedicated service and love for the residents of the city of Houston. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And now our next department, the Houston Health Department, with Director Stephen Williams. Our honorees are: for 30 years of service in 2020, Carlotta Arizola, Jenny Bland, Lucy Borja, Carlos Bustamante, Cynthia Davis Turner, Rilwan Etty, Diane Fullilove, Donald Hugh, Deborah Jones, Sawi Lamb, Amina Marjanovic, Nani Ratan, Cassandra Raven, Cheryl Robertson, Rachel Rodriguez, Christy Rollins, Pamela Ross, Rhonda Thomas, Lupita Thornton, Adrenia Webster. And celebrating 35 years in 2020, Patsy Kano, Maurice Edwards, Tina Mays Sneed, Makad Mees, Norma Morales, Stephanie Washington, and Cheryl Williams. Celebrating 40 years of service, Renee Beckham, Amelia Gutierrez, and Wiley Henry. Our 2020 nominees for 30 years of service: Janet Akins, Alma Benegas, Patricia Belts, Michael Contreras, Jeffrey Erdman, Teresa Garcia, Larry Goodman, Darlene Gross, Vanna Patel, Howard Turner, and Shanette Vincent. Celebrating 35 years of service in 2021, Adria Chenier, Deborah Isaac, Stacy James, and Lily Taylor. Congratulations, Director Williams.
Well, thank you. I want to thank all of you for your 3 or more decades of service to the residents of this city of Houston. Renee and Wiley, I have to acknowledge your 40 years of services, given the roles that you play and have played over those 40 years. And of course, Shanette, being a direct support for me for the last almost 18 years, I'm really grateful for that. When I look at the list of names, I have mostly fond memories of the experiences that I've had with some of you. I'm also impressed with the diversity of staff and the fact that you represent a broad array of services that we deliver here in the Houston Health Department. Your dedication, especially over the last 2 years, is much appreciated given the fact that we've called on you to do almost double duty while responding to COVID and maintaining your regular jobs. I consider the work that we do in the health department as a calling, and your service have demonstrated that you have answered that call. I look forward to your continued service to the residents of Houston, and I'm grateful that you're here.
Thank you, Director Williams. Congratulations to all honorees. And now, HITS, Houston Information Technology Services, with Director Lisa Kent. Our honorees are: celebrating 30 years of service in 2020, Amat Haq and William Kinsey. Celebrating 35 years of service, Mr. Robert Isaac. And in 2021, celebrating 30 years of service, Ahmad Shaikh. Director Kent.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit about these dedicated HITS team members. As most of you know, HITS supports all departments throughout the city, and each of these HITS honorees perform critical roles with a strong focus on improving citizen access to city services, as well as optimizing back office operations for your departments to serve those citizens more efficiently and effectively. So let me tell you just a little bit about these honorees. First, Ahmad Haq performs desktop support. She supports Judge Marshall's department with the municipal courts. She cheerfully serves those courts personnel, servicing their computers and ensuring that they're properly working and able to serve citizens. Bill Kinsey recently retired after 30 years of service. Bill also supported Judge Marshall's department, specifically for the C-SMART system, which is the court's case management system, and is the foundation of most of their operations. Bill could always be counted to serve faithfully. He would come in early and stay late to ensure that the C-SMART integrations were always working as expected. Robert Isaac has completed an amazing 35 years of service. Robert serves the Department of Neighborhoods, and he supports the Infor permitting and inspection application and the tablets associated with those field workers from Director Francis's department. And then finally, Ahmad Sheikh. Ahmad is in our applications division. He works on custom applications that serve a wide variety of departments, including several of them from the mayor's office. So I just want to commend each one of these HITS team members. We are super proud of you and excited about honoring you in front of this group and the mayor.
Thank you so much, Director, and congratulations again to all the honorees. Next department, the Houston Police Department with Chief Troy Fenner. Now y'all get comfortable. This list is a little lengthy too. So celebrating our 2020 honorees for 30 years of service are Nelda Adams, Ray Andrews, Cheryl Armstrong, Mark Bailey, Edward Barber, Catherine Baptiste, Ingrid Beal, Carl Black, Diane Blewett, Harold Bond, Andre Booker, Brett Boudreau, Rosalie Brillin, Cassandra Britton McClintock, Joel Burton, Albin Sigilski, Crystal Charles, Joseph Chu, and Sherilyn Cormier. Charles Culbreth, William Curry, Jennifer Dang, William Dodson, Stephen Duffy, Sheila Duncan, David Dunning, John Dworak, Dennis Eckenrode, George Ellis, Felia Ferguson, our Chief Troy Fenner, Rebecca Follis, Dorothea Ford, Kimberly Fredrickson, Domingo Garcia, Gilbert Garcia, Michael Garcia, Lois Gibson, Everest Gilliam. Our 30-year honorees continue: Deborah Goldman, Lydia Gonzalez, Roshan Hall, Susan Harden, Carl Harris, Don Henry, Tamara Hill, Mark Holbrook, James Hudson, Raymond Hunt, Irma Hunter, Philip Jackson, Eric Johnson, Gregory Johnson, Tracy Justice, Demetrios Caravantos, Anita Combati, Ross Kong, Andrew Corball, Mark Lurch, Yuk Lee, Michael Lesson, David Lopez, Juan Maldonado, Mark Manriquez, June McGowan, Araceli Molina, Irma Munoz, Robert Musick, Beverly Myers, Michael Nelson, David Nieto, Chauncey Odom, Ciro Olivares, Armando Ordaz, Carrie Palmer, Phyllis Parker, Christopher Paris, Jeffrey Pearson, Richard Pickett, continuing for 30 years of service, Raymond Poe, Rosemary Reza, James Rhodes, Sonia Rhodes, Anthony Richards, Christopher Ritchie, Richard Rotterman, Gustavo Rodriguez, Mark Rooney, Deborah Sanders, Michelle Sandoval, Peggy Sappington, Melo Seto, Darkus Shorten, Douglas Singleton, Patricia Small, David Smith, Stephen Tabano, John Tice, Paul Thomas. Continuing 30 years of service, Tawana Thompson, Albert Thormelin, Laura Trevino, Juan Virgil, Trish Viator, Samuel Villarreal, Dennis Bonquintus, Thomas Wallace, Ann Waltman, Sherry Waters, Walter Webb, Donna Williams, Janeda Wiltz, Vanessa Wiltz, Paul Witherington, James Wright, Reba Wright, Michael Ibanez, Michelle Inocencio, Linda Zamora. And now, coming up on 35 years of service, our honorees are Patrick Abercia, Deborah Alley, Roosevelt Ashford, Jack Bailey, Mark Bearden, Scott Berry, Antonio Butte, Robert Breeding, Alan Bukowski, Margaret Bustamante, Lewis Caldwell, Charles Carr, Sherman Chaffin, Byron Cleggett, Francisco Elizondo, Eric Fitchner, Michael Franco, Keith Franklin, Robert Garza, and Frederick Groves. For 35 years, our honorees are for 2020, Norris Groves, Tamika Hawkins, Clifford Jackson, Kelvin Johnson, James Jones, Jay Jones, Shannon Kemp, Ian Kessler, Robert King, Raggi Law, Daniel Leos, Cole Lester, Gwendolyn Lewis, Patricia Monzo, Griff Maxwell, Kenneth McDonald, Jeffrey Miller, Robert Montalvo, Colin Morton, and James Mushinsky. Continuing, Bo Knoll, John Ogden, Ruben Ontiveros, Francisco Ortiz, Barnett Pate, Richard Pedraza, Oscar Pena, Jeffrey Perry, Anthony Pissarro, Charles Pugh, James Rachel, James Robinson, William Rogers, Anthony Schism, Carnell Speck, Alvin Steelman, Vanessa Sterling, Kenneth Strange, Ronald Sweet, and Guadalupe Trevino. Continuing, Judy Tristan, Margaret Turner, Stephen Turner, Timmy Walker, John Walsh, Craig Webster, William Wurr, Kenneth Wiltz, and Paulino Zavala. Congratulations to all of you for 35 years of service. For 40 years of service in 2020 to the Houston Police Department, our honorees are Calamity Barnes, Susan Beltran, Jeffrey Bickle, Michael Bucala, Artelis Carson, Clements Jankowski, Terry Jones, Kevin O'Brien, Richard Retz, and Donald Ritchie. Celebrating 30 years of service in 2021, Samuel Acevedo, Jeffrey Anderson, Charles Asif, Cindy Altman, Bruce Bang, Richard Barajas, Marion Boyster, Ronald Borza, Kenneth Bradshaw, Kevin Bradshaw, Derek Branch, John Brody, Reginald Broughton, Eugene Brohow, Stephen Casco, Robert Chavez, Rosalind Cherry, Paul Cromwell, Willie Cuevas, and Dolph Daniel. Continuing for 30 years, we now have John Daniels, Mark Davis, Charles Dotson, John Dominguez, Richard Fernandez, Michael Flores, James Fowler, Marilyn Freeman, Gerald Garcia, Guillermo Gonzalez, Alan Green, Douglas Griffith, Eloy Guzman, Stephen Hamala, Danny Hamill, Gloria Harrison, Timothy Harry, Richard Hatcher, Cynthia Hernandez, and Timothy Herman. Continuing for 30 years, 2021 honorees are Rhonda Hickman, Michael Hill, Daryl Holloway, Jeffrey Holmes, James Iglinski, Robert Irving, Carrie Jameson, Maria Jasso, Randall Jinzon, William Jeffrey, Philip Carmoot, Reginald Kimball, Garland Malone, Raymond Miraz, Marjorie Melinder, Raul Moreda, Mark Miskowski, Kai Nakeen, Donald Nosser, Lisa Knott. Our list continues. Charles Ogden, Albert Orozco, Charles Overstreet, Timothy Oxford, Melvin Parker, Stephen Poprick, Valerie Riggs, Sharon Robinson, George Rodriguez, Michael Roan, Jose Rosas, Richard Ross, William Rowley, Neil Saper, Larry Satterwhite, Karen Simeon, Frederick Shannon, Thomas Simmons, Martin Skeen, and Joe Slover. Charles Starks, Jerome Stevens, Arisima Thornhill, Bradley Tukulski, John Varela, Brian Becerra, Theodore Villarreal, James Waltman, Andrew Washington, Kira Webster, Twana Wheeler, Adrian White, Janet White, and Frederick Young. Now celebrating 35 years of service, David Akers, Vicki Allen, Jeanette Arsenault, Henry Artavia, William Atwood, Alicia Austin, Mark Bailey, Michael Burdick, David Kennedy, Troy Castile, Catherine Chapman, Daryl Cherry, Matthew Clark, Christopher Cumbus, Grace Dawes, James DeMartin, William Dobbins, David Egan, Howard Epperson, and Norman Escobar. Continuing 35 years of service, Vidal Flores, Jeffrey Fondon, Kimberly Fondon, Curtis Ford, Manuel Garcia, Dennis Garrett, Jean Goss, Hector Gonzalez, Darlene Gordon, Richard Gumke, William Hargrove, Americo Hernandez, Kenneth Herndon, Jeff Herrera, Wileen Hill, Melba Hogan, Derek Hooper, Charles Hunt, Randall Ivins, and Desiree Jackson. Moving forward, 35 years of service, Virgil James, Johnny Jones, Ernest Leal, Glenn Lominac, Alejandro Maciel, Jesus Maciel, Ronald McClendon, Ricky McNeil, Michael McKeska, Mark Newcomb, Ray Pearson, Humberto Pena, Stephen Fares, Gary Powers, Michael Provost, John Ramos, Brian Raymond, Dwayne Reddy, Jeffrey Redder, and Robert Rowling. Continuing for 35 years of service, Michael Romero, Mallory Saxton, Gary Schaefer, Diana Shepard, Pedro Cifuentes, David Slade, Carrie Small, Robert Smith, James Sabota, Lori Spires, Troy Stearns, David Svahn, Robin Thacker, Jesus Thomas, Paul Ortega, Dorothy Villejas, Hubert Watson, Gaynell Williams, Jamie Wolf Jatar, and Jonathan Wires. Celebrating 40 years of service to HPD, Silverio Almanza, Val Bueller, Celoid Daniels, James Gauss, Tinsley Ginn Shaver, Christopher Malik, Richard McClarty, Raimundo Montalvo, Russell Price, Stuart Red, James Rhodes, Kurt Rogers, Roberto Ruiz, Rolando Sainz, Derline Scott, and David Wilhite. And celebrating 45 years of service, Roberto Calderon, Joe Falco, Ken Hartman, Michael McLean, Paul Savinoa, and Jimmy Thorpe. And we'd like to take a moment to also acknowledge that one of our honorees, William Jeffrey, was killed in the line of duty last year. So let's take a moment of silence to acknowledge that. Thank you so much. We thank him for his service as well as the other honorees. And now we would like to introduce Chief Fenner for brief, very brief, after that list, remarks.
It will be very brief. I just want to thank you, Director Francis, Mayor Turner, for recognizing, but 30 years plus of service, both on our civilian and classified. I just want to honor them and give thanks to them for the service, to making our city safe. What can I say? Just really honored and touched today. When I hear and look at that list of 45 individuals, I'm sorry, the individuals with over 45 years, that's amazing. 394 over 30 years. So thank y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Chief Fenner, for those brief remarks. And congratulations to you for your 30 years.
Thank you.
All right, we now have Houston Public Library Director, Dr. Rhea B. Lawson, and her honorees. The honorees are our 2020 honorees for 30 years of service are Wendy DeWalt, Tracy King, David Shepard. For 35 years of service, Clara Gomez, Charlene Munsinger, and Laura Wingfield. Celebrating 30 years of service in 2021, we have Beatrice Duran, Doris Gibson, and Vic Martinez. Angelia Rose rounds out our 30 years of service. And celebrating 35 years of service in 2021, Ms. Esther Reyes. Director Lawson.
Thank you, Director Francis. Good morning and congratulations to all the honorees. I am so honored and so very happy to have this opportunity to publicly express my personal appreciation and gratitude to each of the Houston Public Library honorees for your achievement of your for this achievement and your wonderful service milestones of 30 and 35 years. On behalf of the entire HPL team, I want you to know how very, very proud we are to have you on our team. Loyal and dedicated team members like you are the solid foundation for the many library services and programs that the citizens of our great city depend on every day. Please know that your talents and steadfast dedication to stellar public service make a major difference every day, and we thank you for your contributions. I'm so very proud of each of you. So on behalf of myself, the entire HPL team, and the citizens of our great city, congratulations and thank you on your impressive years of service.
Thank you so very much for your service, and thank you, Director Lawson. And now, Houston Public Works with Director Carol Haddock. Our honorees are, for 30 years of service in 2020, Donald Bell, Jimmy Boxley, Jesse Cantu, John Davila, Charlie Domino, Carlos Escobar, Emmanuel Etefia, Roy Fry, Luis Garcia, and Pete Garcia, James Glover, Maria Gomez, Adelfred Groh, Gregory High School, Michael Hernandez, Jackie Lathan, Tony Lewis, Charles Lyons, Sylvia McClelland, and Robert McLennan. The honorees continue with Herbert McDonald, Fuzzy McFarland, Coltina Mingang, Maurice Miller, Sheila Moore, Elvia Moreno, Wanda Navarre, Elicio Neri, Gabriel Okinoko, James Parker, Maritza Pedrosa Hurtado, Ernesto Ramirez, Hector Ramirez, Albert Romo, Ahmed Siddiqui, Carolyn Smith, Lynn Tan, Barbara Terrell, Alan Warren, and David Wassel. Moving on, celebrating 30 years of service, Crystal Weaver, Brenda Whitlock, Clifford Williams, I. Williams, Joe Williams, Susan Williams Rogers, Darren Wilson, Mohammed Zahari, and Nabil Zad. And celebrating 35 years of service in 2020, our honorees are Linda Davis, Norma Hernandez, Joyce Holland, Ella Holmes, Cynthia Jones, Roland Ontiveros, Emily Salazar, Simon Tung, Bruce Walters, Don Williams. Celebrating 40 years of service, Clarence Campbell, Maria Serva, Johnny Clemens, and Victor Midyet. Celebrating 45 years of service, Mr. William Crouch. Our 2021 honorees for Houston Public Works celebrating 30 years of service are Carlos Alfaro, Lamberto Arias, Munishwar Arya, Michael Beasley, David Bledsoe, Jocelyn Kane, Dedra Caraway, Ronald Charles, Wesley Desotel, Michael Edmond, Migan Gabriel, Ruth Gonzalez, Brenda Jasper, Byron King, Melvin Liddy, LaDonna Matthews, Kevin Mosley, Merle Neville, Kevin Ogden, and Israel Ojeda. Continuing, Pedro Paniagua, Esther Rocha, Mohammed Zabzavari, Clayton St. Julian, Michael Thomas, Jose Torres, Shelder Wilburn, and Tracy Wilkins. Congratulations for your 30 years of service. Moving on to 35 years, the honorees are Cornelius Andrus, Chris Broussard, Stephen Kempagna, Jerry Fielder, Arthur Flanagan, James Gilliland, Carl Guevara, Kathleen Jane Bullock, Kermit Johnson, Ricky Leverett, Ernest Martin, Talisa Mays, Veronica McGinty, Willie Moore, Randall Richard, Martin Sains, Sheila Singleton, Wendell Smith, Jeffrey Taylor, Timorn Vilmosang, Fred Watt. And celebrating 40 years of service, our 2021 honorees are Alvin Bureaus, Cornelius Kroom, James Gay, Charles Harvey, Martin Lynn, Albert Reyes, and Suniri Sai. And that concludes our honorees for Houston Public Works. Director Haddock.
Thank you, Director Francis and Director Cheeks and Mayor Turner for allowing us this opportunity to pause to recognize the amazing years of service. I was trying to do the math in my head real quick on how many centuries of service were named in this list. And I will tell you that as I look at this list of people, many of these people I know and talk with on a routine basis. Many of you, I know your name, but we've only met once or twice. But you show up every day, you demonstrate your commitment to public service, your commitment to our purpose. Together we create a strong foundation for Houston to thrive, knowing that what we do is often unseen and unappreciated until something happens that is not working right. But on a daily basis, every single person in the city of Houston, whether they live here or whether they work here, depends on the services that we provide to make sure that they have safe drinking water, that the water and wastewater systems are functioning completely, the roads, the traffic signals, the storm drainage systems, permitting of our structures to make sure they're safe. You're part of that. You're part of that strong foundation. You do it every single day. You do it with integrity. You work together as teams. We have demonstrated over and over that we take ownership of our work tasks, and if there are problems, we take ownership of that and we find solutions. We communicate, and ultimately we demonstrate respect for ourselves, for each other, and for the community that we serve. And it's through your willingness every single day to show up and do that that we are successful. And I honestly, when I look at the years of service demonstrated here, faithful service, high-level service, continued service. Many on this list, I know I have approved retirement, but many of you are still with us. And thank you for continuing to do what you do on a daily basis. Houstonians may not always know that they appreciate the work that you do, but know that I do, the mayor does, and the city does as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, and congratulations to the honorees and retirees. All right, moving forward to the Human Resources Department with Director Jane Cheeks. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. All right, celebrating 30 years of service in 2020, Ms. Pearlie Bettis, Usafia Chia, Pamela Jarman Wade, and Sandra Zeno. Celebrating 35 years of service in 2020, Patricia Scott, and 40 years of service, Dwight Allen. In 2021, our 30 years of service honorees are Terrence Artis and Claudia Demas. And celebrating 35 years of service in 2021, Roxanne Stevens. Congratulations, Director Cheeks.
Thank you. And I just want to thank all of the HR honorees. I mean, 35 years in human resources is a lot. And we talk all the time about sometimes our jobs are a little thankless. But the one thing about our jobs is that we love them. And the service and dedication that's been put forth by you all over all of these years, it is totally impeccable. I honestly cannot thank you all enough. You all represent departments like the Parks Department, you represent HFD, and also HAS. And you have done a phenomenal job with those departments. But I would be remiss if I did not call out Miss Sandra Zeno, who is now retiring, and she works for the Controller's Office. I will not speak for them, but I know that I can say that the service that you have dedicated to the Controller's Office has been thoroughly appreciated. I want to thank each and every one of you all for your dedication to human resources, but to the city of Houston, because without us, the departments would not be able to serve the residents. You are appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director, and thank you, honorees. Now moving on to the legal department with City Attorney Arturo Michel. Our honorees for 2020 for 30 years of service is Ms. Paula Harris. For 35 years of service, Henry Merceron. And for 50 years of service, wow, Patricia Lawson. Congratulations. And for 2021, for 30 years of service, Adonna Elliott, Carolyn Lacey, and Julia Sage. Congratulations and thank you for your service. Attorney Michel.
Thank you. I would like to recognize our core group of 30 and 35 years who have done a high level, Henry's now retired, of administrative work. And despite lawyers' belief that they can do everything, that's just simply not true. And as the mayor knows, it is the staff work, the administrative work that makes a difference often between failure and success. And we are lucky to have had these people with us for so long. I would also like to individually recognize Patricia Lawson for her 50 years, and a thank you to HPD, where she honed her skills in the Office of Inspector General. And for all those years, she has done an outstanding job in a very difficult and sensitive area, and we are lucky to have her here. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Michelle. And now let's go to the mayor's office for Mayor Sylvester Turner. And our honorees 2020 celebrating 30 years of service, Miss Kimberly House. And our 2021 honorees celebrating 30 years of service, Jacqueline Schusler-Kimsey and Amanda Washington. Celebrating 35 years of service, Susan Christian and Charles Johnson. And celebrating 40 years of service, Luz Pereira. Mayor Turner. You're muted, sir.
All right. Let me say thank you, and I have the privilege and the honor of knowing each and every one of these individuals. So let me thank you all for your service to the city, 30, 35 years, and excellent service at that. You know, everything that happens in the city in one way or another kind of flows up to the mayor's office. So we have the privilege of working with all of these departments. To these individuals who have given incredible service to this city in the mayor's office, let me thank you from the depths of my heart. I certainly couldn't do my job without you all, and quite frankly, that applies to every one of these departments. So much gratitude. Make sure that you look out for my jelly cake that's coming in your direction today. You know, and enjoy. Okay, have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, and Mayor, did you also want to let everyone know that city employees were off after the program today? Was that the other point of gratitude?
That is correct. Please consider yourself off anytime after 6 p.m. today, but try to be back by 6 a.m. in the morning, okay? But enjoy that time off. You know, go to the Astros game this evening. Oh, I forgot, they're not playing, so you can sit in the stands.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. And now, while we go ahead and wait till we're off at 6, I want to bring up Municipal Courts with Judge Elaine Marshall. Celebrating 30 years of service, our 2020 honorees are Yolanda Campbell, Ruth Gamble, and Lisa Wormley. And celebrating 35 years of service, Charlotte Garland.
Next one must be caught up. We'll be caught up.
And celebrating 30 years of service in 2021, Toby Black, Brenda Kraft, Maribel Gomez, Sharon Jones, Cindy Rucker, and celebrating 35 years of service with Houston Municipal Courts, Barbara Earhart, Monica Millette Tharagood, and 40 years of service, Eva Green and Patricia Smith. Congratulations to each and every one of you, Judge Marshall.
I should have singled out Amanda.
One more thing. I'm sorry. Judge Marshall, go ahead. We're all muted.
All right. Thank you, Directors Francis and Cheeks and Mayor Turner. They say that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Everyone that I have on this list, I just want to commend them for staying with me, for working with us. We've been through Alicia, we've been through Ike, we've been through Harvey and COVID, and this whole group right here just keeps everything flowing. They work from different areas, from court ops to warrant verifications to everywhere you can imagine. 3 of them are in my staff and they're on call all the time. What a wonderful way to celebrate you all and to say thank you for your service. They can't retire, Mayor, until I leave. So they're all here with me. I love you all. I just want to say my team rocks, and to all of the honorees today, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so very much. And now we bring up the Office of Business Opportunity with Director Marcia Murray. Our 2021 OBO honorees for 30 years of service is Ms. Barbara Small Robinson. Congratulations, Director Murray.
Thank you, Director Francis, Mayor Turner, Director Cheeks. It is my honor to be a part of presenting Barbara Small Robinson with this service award. Barbara, actually better known as Miss Barbara in the office, has dedicated the last 32 years to serving the needs of Houstonians, starting her career at HPD in 1990 and then joining an OBO certification team 15 years ago. At OBO, the impact of Miss Barbara's work can be seen in the countless lives she has positively influenced, serving on the front line of the certification process, assisting business owners through a process that can often be daunting, but the results of which could actually change lives, expanding their access to many opportunities. Ms. Barbara's work has not only impacted these business owners, but that impact has extended to their families, their employees, and the communities these businesses serve. This is Ms. Barbara's legacy with the Office of Business Opportunity. I do want to mention that Ms. Barbara has accomplished all of this against the backdrop of having raised 3 daughters and being a proud grandmother of 7 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Barbara Small Robinson has been an invaluable asset to this city. Thank you, Ms. Barbara, for your years of outstanding service. We really appreciate you.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Director, and thank you, Ms. Barbara. Now moving on to Parks and Recreation with Director Kenneth Allen. The honorees are, our 2020 honorees for 30 years of service are Maria Garcia, Brenda Holmes, Joe Johnson, Maria Lamelli Padilla, and Thomas Sanchez. For 35 years, Larry Baptiste and Joe San Miguel. Our 2021 honorees for Parks and Recreation for 30 years of service, Deloy Bird, Victor Cordova, John Davidson, John Espinosa, Aubrey Green, Will Jackson, Bradley Johnson, Cheryl Johnson, Donna Kadarifu, Goetz Kraus, Hugo Lopez, Jeffrey Lyons, Charlotte Rogers, and An Tran. Celebrating 35 years of service in 2021, our honorees are Raimundo Orozco and Marietta Reeves. Celebrating 40 years of service, John Torres. And celebrating 45 years of service, Abel Gonzalez. Congratulations to each of the honorees. Director Allen.
Yes, thank you, Director Francis, Honorable Mayor, and Director Cheeks, for just giving us the opportunity as a city to recognize employees for 3 decades plus years of service. You know, it's truly indicative of the leadership of the city. When you think about 30 plus years in one organization, and that's the city of Houston, maybe in multiple departments, it's a true testament that employees feel comfortable and happy in their workplace. You know, we've certainly gone through change and a metamorphosis throughout this city, but I also like to thank my fellow directors for creating that environment where employees could thrive and cherish the jobs that they are responsible for. To the Magnificent Seven, to the list of employees from the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, I stand with you and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your day-to-day effort, for your commitment, for your loyalty, and just being true to our mission, which is to improve the quality of life of our citizens through parks. You know, we are true agents of change, and you guys are passionate about what you do. I'm just honored and I'm happy to be a part of your day-to-day roles. So thank you again. Really appreciate you guys. And thank you again, all of my fellow directors, for creating that environment where employees can thrive and be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, and congratulations to your honorees. And now the Planning Department with Director Margaret Wallace Brown. Our honorees are In 2020, celebrating 30 years of service, Michael Kramer. And celebrating 35 years of service, Modudul Hook. 2021 honorees. There are none. So now we're going to turn it over to Director Margaret Wallace Brown for her comments. You're muted, Director.
Thank you. It is a great honor to be able to honor these two individuals who have contributed so much to Houston's planning department and to the Houston community over the years. Assistant Director Mike Kramer, who retired last year, served for many years, and he consistently improved our operation by clarifying our policies and establishing all sorts of time-saving protocols. His professional legacy is one that includes balancing the needs of organized growth with protecting the quality of our neighborhoods. But I think it's his personal legacy that I miss the most. His humor, his razor-sharp wit, and the kindness that he shared to everyone he worked with. He is missed every day. And then Maramuhu Huck. Huck serves as our primary point of information for things that you never knew you needed, but once you need them, Huck can find them for you. If you ever need to know when a neighborhood was created, what part of Houston was annexed when, or the origin of a street name, Huck's your guy, and he provides such stellar service. Such stellar service that 5 years ago we initiated the Huck Excellence in Customer Service Award for department members. It's a fitting tribute to a career spent answering questions. So I am grateful for both of these individuals' devotion to Houston and to the planning department, and they make us proud every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Wallace Brown, and congratulations to the honorees. We appreciate your service. And last but definitely not least, the Solid Waste Management Department with Director Mark Wilfall. Our honorees are, in 2020, celebrating 30 years of service, Deborah Blackshear, Karen Bledsoe, and Nam Nguyen. Celebrating 35 years of service, Telford Birmingham and Jesse Milan. And celebrating 40 years of service, Mr. Anthony Bowie. Our 2021 honorees, celebrating 30 years of service, James Collins, Andrew Hill, Philip Holden, Derek Mabane, Alberto Robledo, Rosalind Smith, Melissa Steele, Jay Tristan, and Stephen Warren. And celebrating 35 years of service in 2021, David Padilla. And that concludes our honorees for the Solid Waste Management Department. Director Wilfall.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Solid waste. Wow. Last on the list, but I like to say first on the hearts and always in the thoughts, especially lately. On behalf of myself, my esteemed colleagues, I'd like to thank Mayor Turner, Director Cheeks, and everyone for putting this wonderful event on. What's often been considered a thankless profession, I'm glad we have the opportunity today to recognize all of our employees who have made tremendous sacrifices and dedication towards preserving the aesthetics and giving everything they can to stand in the gap to keep our solid waste services flowing. I would like to thank you, and I would also like to thank you for welcoming me to be a part of your team. We look forward to the best years that are going to be ahead of us, and to all of our folks who retired. Though I didn't get a chance to work with you that long, I really appreciate your spirit and guidance that you were willing to share with me during the onboarding process. That really speaks to the passion of the men and women of the Solid Waste Management Department. And once again, thank you for this opportunity, and congratulations to all of our honorees.
Thank you, Director Wilfall. And as we get ready to close, we'd like to once again acknowledge our mayor to give us closing remarks.
Look, thank you, Director Francis. Thank you, Director Francis. And look, let me thank you for kind of being the MC and calling out all of those names. That is no small order, so please give it up to Director Francis. You know, just for that, I'm gonna add 10 years on your service automatically. You know, so it is written, so let it be done. I
Yes,
mean,
sir. I'll take it.
because you did that thing. So thank you to Director Cheeks. Let me thank you for putting on this particular program where we're honoring all the employees, and to all of the employees that we've honored from all 23 of our departments who have been with the city from 30 years to 50 years. Let me just thank you on behalf of all of all Houstonians for the service you have rendered. And I just want you to know it's been very appreciated. And of course, everyone has helped to make this city the great city that it is. And I'm right here in the mayor's office. Amanda Washington is right outside of my door. And so, and was recognized, I think, for 35 years of service. And so each and every one of you, I do look forward at some point between now and to be able to visit with you in person to just say thank you, and we'll find a way to do that for the service that you have rendered and acknowledgement of that. But again, let me say thank you. Do enjoy the day. For those who haven't retired, for those who have retired, thank you. And I hope you're enjoying your retirement. For those who have not retired and are still serving the city of Houston, let me stop so you can get back to work. But I do want to acknowledge the municipal court, Judge Marshall, because the municipal court's building has been limping along, and through the heat and through the cold, municipal employees have been showing up. And I do want to thank them because they have been operating under just some very difficult circumstances. To those, all of our employees are valued. Each one is valued. I want you to know that and very much appreciated. And we simply cannot say thank you enough. So do enjoy your day. I know I've joked a little bit, but in the midst of everything you do, and if you can't laugh a little bit, then something is wrong. But just know, appreciate you, but not only appreciate you, we love you. So, wonderful day. May God bless you and bless your families as well.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And before y'all log off real quick, I believe Director Cheeks wanted to make one last comment before we go.
And Mayor, I just wanted to thank you, all of the directors, everyone who has attended. Just thank you for being here and for the support. And I would be remiss if I did not thank Jennifer Cobb and my communications team. And the mayor has already stole the thunder, but Director Francis, you knocked it out of the park. Thank you so very much for hosting this. We could not have done it without you. And you did not mispronounce one name. So I need you to, you just did a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. And once again, we appreciate you for your service. Thank you, directors. Thank you, Mayor. And most importantly, thank you, City of Houston employees. Y'all have a great afternoon.